Hiya guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I've got the fun job of removing my cylinder head. I've never done this before on any engine, apart from I did a lawnmower engine once and removed the cylinder head off of that. I don't think that really counts, but regardless of which. So this is a 1996 L400 Delica, like the title says, and the engine is a 4M40. It's a 4-cylinder 2.8 litre diesel. So at the moment I'm removing the intercooler, the airbox and all its associated hoses and like cable connections. You'll notice my alternator isn't in there. That's because I removed it to put it on my other car. It has nothing to do with taking the cylinder head off. It was just I stole it to replace my other one. This is just the bolt that holds the transmission dipstick in place. I'm just about to disconnect the lines from the injector pump to the injectors. I chose to keep the return part of the fuel rail there, and also I left my glow plugs in place with the buzz bar, and in a moment you'll see me just undo the little nut on the buzz bar for the glow plugs. Just for simplicity I thought I'd leave all this on and remove it once I pull the head out. I'm simply unclipping the fuel return line from the fuel rail here. Here I'm removing one of the coolant manifolds from the radiator into the block. And these are some of the bolts that hold the wiring loom and like harness etc. in place. Once I freed up the majority of the small auxiliaries on top of the head, I thought I would remove the exhaust manifold and the air intake manifold from the block as well. It's worth noting that I have blanked off and completely removed my EGR valve assembly from my air intake and exhaust. Camera go no nights. Hey, mate. Just a side note here, it might have been more sensible to undo the 3 bolts going into the turbo before I unbolted the exhaust manifold from the head, but it doesn't really matter. That's the exhaust manifold removed. You've got to remove that before you can gain access to all the bolts on the air intake manifold, which I am now about to remove as well. Here I'm just removing a banjo fitting on the side. I think this is actually for the power steering pump. I'm pretty sure all that's left to do now, unbolt the rocker and then undo the head bolts, and off she comes. Reasonably sure. I did forget something else at the back. On the fuel pump side is the water line. Good God. It should brush off. I don't think it's going to matter the little bit of rust on the cam. It should clean off nicely. The engine's been sat for about 6 months since the head blew. If not, then I can regrind this on tool and cutter grinder or one of my universal grinders if necessary. So I don't have the correct tool to lock the timing off on my car. I'm gonna just gently coax the timing chain off and keep the sprocket in place as I remove it from the cam. And then there's a small keyhole inside the sprocket. I'm going to just poke a cable tie through that and securely fasten the sprocket to the chain. This way I don't lose my timing marks. It's not the correct way, but it works. I'm not sure whether or not the garage torqued all the bolts up correctly, because some of these were incredibly loose compared to others. And I undone them all with reasonably low pressure. The way the bolt pattern works, you have the longest bolts on the outside edge inside the rocker cover near the intake and exhaust manifolds, and then slightly over towards the cam you have the shorter bolts that go through those holes, and then on the outside of the rocker cover you have the medium length bolts for the bolt set that go out there. So if anyone's wondering where the bolts go, it's fairly self-explanatory, but just in case you've taken them out and you've forgotten and you're checking back for a video, that's the pattern. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Baby. Okay. Well, so close. Actually, talking to me, what's that? Sorry. Yeah, straight, please. So I'm saying, didn't have to get yeah. That's it, yeah, it's still this, yeah. I can tell, so we can shorter, longer, and so we can hand it, yeah. Sure. The total time that I had been recording, this was all like a continuous recording, was 1 hour 36 minutes. That would include, however, the few times I had wandered away to go find tools, had a couple of conversations with my neighbours. This took me, I would guess, if I had all the tools sat at the side of my car, 1 hour and 10 minutes to strip everything down and pull the head out from the car. The only little bit of difficulty I have with this right now is on the fuel rail where the injectors are, one of the fuel lines from the fuel pump had hooked over and was kind of stuck. So this would have came off without any trouble and without any fiddling, but I had hooked the fuel line, well, the solid fuel line, through the fuel rail and got it wedged and stuck, so I had to fiddle around with it right now. There we go. Right, that's the head out. Next up, I'm going to inspect the cylinder head, the gasket and the block. Out of curiosity, I want to see if there's any obvious signs of failure. I don't have the facilities to grind the head myself. My grinders aren't big enough, so I'm going to take it somewhere and have it done, but I'm just curious beforehand to see if I can find out why it failed. In a moment you'll see where it failed. It's all on the first cylinder. But I'd like to know what happened, if it's just a blown gasket or if the head warped. If this video has been of interest to you guys, please like and comment below, perhaps even subscribe, and I will catch you all on the next one. Take care and enjoy. So it's all on the first cylinder, and it's the same for the head.